audio tape test 8, Assault on 2 foreigners.
You will hear an audio script concerning a mission-related topic. This script will be followed by a conversation between two persons. This conversation will relate to the script. You will hear the tape only once. You will make notes of the script and of the conversation. From these notes, you will be instructed either to answer 10 questions or complete a written report of the incident. Good luck.
On 21st November 2005, at 0900 hours, there was an incident involving two Chinese men, aged 25 and 27 years, who live at 29th Street, number 5, in Central Monrovia, and work with the road construction company. They were walking along the street near the sports stadium when one of their mobile phones was stolen by two men. One of the thieves had snatched the phone and handed it over to the other, who immediately took to his heels. The Chinese men caught the thief who had snatched the phone, a 19-year-old man, about 1.76 meters tall. The other one who had the phone escaped. He was about the same age as the other suspect, but was 3 centimeters taller. He ran to the motor park and came back with 5 heavily built men, all armed with sticks. The thieves and the 5 men started beating up the two Chinese. An attendant at a nearby gas station who had witnessed all this called Zone 5 police station with his mobile phone to inform the police about this incident. The chief of the police was not in the station at the time. He was said to have gone for a meeting with the Inspector General of Police. The duty officer dispatched 2 officers with ID numbers 092 and 097 to the scene, located 250 meters from the Star radio station. On getting there, the officers found the 2 Chinese men lying on the ground. The older man had a deep cut on his left hand. The younger one had bruises all over his body. His blue jeans trousers and white shirt were torn and stained with blood. On sighting the police officers, 3 of the attackers escaped. The officers were able to arrest the remaining attackers. The officer with ID number 092 then used his radio to call the police station. He informed the duty officer about all they had seen and requested an ambulance be sent immediately. 20 minutes later, the ambulance arrived and the 2 Chinese men were taken to the Jordanian hospital for medical attention. The arrested suspects were then taken to the station. One of the fleeing attackers was later caught by a security guard in a nearby warehouse and brought to the station. The others were still at large. When the police chief returned from the meeting, he was briefed by the duty officer. He was very upset because the Inspector General of Police is not happy about the increase in attacks on foreigners. He then gave an instruction that all the arrested suspects be taken to court the following day. The following conversation was between the chief of police and the duty officer.
Good afternoon, ma'am. There was an incident involving 2 foreigners in your absence.
Good afternoon. The Inspector General is very disturbed about the rising trend in attacks on foreign nationals. Of what nationality are they?
The 2 men are Chinese citizens. One is 25 and the other is 27 years old.
Do you have their residential address? And what are they doing in Liberia?
They live at 29th Street, number 5, and work with the road construction company.
Where did this attack take place?
The attack took place along the street near the sports stadium, about 250 meters from the Star radio station.
Why were they attacked?
2 men aged about 19 years had stolen a phone from one of the Chinese. In an attempt to escape after the theft, one of the suspected thieves ran to the motor park and mobilized 5 heavy-built men armed with sticks and, together with the 2 thieves, attacked the foreigners.
If our men had not acted fast enough, the Chinese men would have been killed. How did you get information about this attack?
An attendant in a nearby gas station who saw all that happened used his mobile telephone to call the police station. We responded swiftly by dispatching 2 officers with ID numbers 092 and 097 to the scene.
Did the officers observe anything at the scene?
Yes, they found the 2 Chinese men lying on the ground. The older one had a deep cut on his left hand, and the younger had bruises all over his body, and his clothes were torn with blood stains all over them.
And what action did they take?
One of the officers called the station with his walkie-talkie, requesting an ambulance. The ambulance arrived 20 minutes later, and the 2 Chinese were taken to the Giordania Hospital for medical attention.
Were the suspects arrested?
Not all the suspects were arrested. 3 of them escaped on sighting the officers. The remaining ones were immediately arrested. One of those who escaped was later caught and brought to the police station by the security guard.
This was a job well done. Make sure that all of the paperwork is completed and the arrested suspects appear in court on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.